PocketMouse Podcast.
Episode 1.
What's up, Dan?
Welcome to the podcast. We should introduce ourselves. I am Dan Miller.
I'm Zack Dillon. We're joined in studio by our producer, Abby Linger.
So,
Episode 1.
We've been trying to do this for a while, and we're really excited to get started here. So, Zack has our first little...
But first,
idea.
I want to. Is it cold in here to you? Because I've been freezing all day.
It's not cold in here to me at all. You said
Just
this to me
me?
this morning, and it is not cold.
I disagree.
I am thoroughly comfortable.
So, I was browsing the internet, right?
As you do.
As you do. And I found something that I really, really think is funny. It's this thing called Monopoly for Millennials. Have you heard about this at all?
I have not heard about this at all.
So Hasbro, right, the makers of Monopoly, along with like every other board game in existence,
pretty much.
They have come out with something called Monopoly for Millennials, and it's really, really like I think it's hilarious.
Is it based on credit and debt, or is that the gist of it?
You don't make money. You get experience points.
Oh, no.
So there's spaces on the board like parents' basement as like a real estate thing, or you go to a 3-day music festival. You got to make sure you take your Ubers home because there is still like a go to jail space.
I'm intrigued. What are the game pieces, Zack? Are they the original Monopoly game pieces, or are they different?
So they're like emoji based. There's a hashtag. There's sunglasses, a hipster camera.
I take full offense to the hipster camera.
Well, speaking of offense, a lot of people are not liking this.
Are they?
Yeah, a lot of millennials are not happy.
Of course they are.
It's funny. It's like, so the tagline on the front of the box says, "Forget real estate. You can't afford it anyway."
That's on the box?
Yeah, that's on the box.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not smart marketing.
Or it's extremely like. I think it's hilarious.
So is this hard to find, or did you have to like specially order this from the Hasbro website, perhaps, or is this sold in stores and everything?
I think it's both. I mean, you can find it in Walmart, you can find it in a bunch of different stores, but online, I think appears to be the biggest.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like funny things, instead of like the community chest, like you have your traditional, you find $20 or stuff like that, but you have stuff like. You hear something that offends you, go and complain on social media, collect 50 retweets.
So the gist I'm getting from this is it's kind of like the older people making this to kind of make fun of the younger generation. It doesn't seem like it was really made by millennials, per se.
See, I can't find any...
Some really satirical millennials, if that.
I think that's probably the route that it went. It's like, hey, a bunch of
a lot of
self-aware.
people miss the joke, kind of.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious.
I think it's pretty funny. I can see some of the taglines you were saying on the box. That's a little for open, right on the box. I guess if it's meant to be kind of a gag gift.
And that seems what Christmas is coming up, so that seems
the
to be
market for it. But
yeah.
Well, interesting. I'll have to read more into that. That's something else. I got something when I was browsing. I was actually watching, I think it was the Today Show or some morning news show at home before I went to school, and they were talking about this cow from Australia named Knickers, and he is a full unit of a cow. I'm talking weighs as much as a Mini Cooper, to get that out there. A small car. This cow weighs the same. He was too big to be taken to slaughter. He just was too much for them, too heavy for the machinery.
So what are they going to do?
Well, Knickers now gets to live out the rest of his wonderful existence on the farm where he was raised, kind of as like the mascot. He stands almost as tall as some. He's 6'4" tall.
Oh, geez.
Right. So that's at the shoulder of the cow. So it's not even like his length, I'm pretty sure. That's like shoulder height, if you were to stand next to it. And yeah, if you can see some pictures we might throw up of him amongst the other cows. They all look like calves. Like, to put this like into perspective, they all look like baby cows. And he looks like the normal cow, but that is not the case. Those are also just full-size cows.
this is the story I think I was the most excited. Like we had notes prepared for this podcast, and we're just kind of talking about it. And this I think is the most. This is the story that intrigued me the most.
Yeah.
I was really excited about looking at this because it's like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like the cow is gigantic.
Yeah, no, it's goofy big. Doesn't make sense at all. What was his? I'm trying to find. I'm looking on the website. I'm trying to find his owner's name. It's like Jeff, but it's spelled Geoff. Like
Okay.
the very Australian
Yeah.
way to spell Jeff. And yeah, he was like, yeah, it was just too big to take to slaughter.
It was just,
he's just big. So
I don't know, man. It was
I don't know what else to
too
say
big.
about this huge cow. He's pretty much like Dwayne The Rock Johnson if Dwayne The Rock Johnson was to become a cow. Like, so much testosterone. So many
Just
muscles.
Just a big cow.
Big, beefed up cow.
I was looking online, looking for this cow, right? Because we were talking about it, and like in the processes, I kind of delved into the internet, right, in a really weird way.
You find yourself on that weird side of YouTube.
Yeah, and that weird. Well, speaking of the weird side of YouTube, we got a video to show you, but oh my gosh, it was just weird news. Some site that just had a bunch of weird news stories that I was really interested in, and one of the ones I found was a dude who broke the Guinness World Record.
What do you break the Guinness World Record for, Zach?
I want to get this right because this is really weird. The Guinness record for eating sweet corn kernels within 3 minutes with a toothpick.
Okay.
This dude named David Rush.
David Rush.
David Rush out of Boise, Idaho. So this guy's kind of made a career out of
Eating soft corn kernels.
no. So he's a teacher, it appears, and he's kind of made a career out of getting Guinness records.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not world records anymore, it's just Guinness records, but he's got like 40 or something, 40 odd records. And if you want to see the video, I got you a link. This dude, like, where do you come up with something like that?
So, we turn this down a little bit.
There you go. So this dude has a toothpick, and he's in a library, right? And there are people in the background, and they're
They're watching him. He has like a little crowd.
yeah. He's just got a toothpick, and he's just going to town with a toothpick on.
Let's see this. Is this where it starts?
Yeah, that's where he breaks the. Yeah. We're gonna explain this to
boom, 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 boom. Corn.
just explain this to the audio listeners who aren't watching us on YouTube or whatnot.
At least 2 corn kernels a second.
I'd say more. I don't know, man. You break a record like that, like I'm. How many do you think that you could get in a minute?
First of all, my first critique is that he's eating these corn kernels off of a yellow plate, right? You would think that you'd want the color difference to stand out for your aim when you're going in with the toothpick. So I think that was his first mistake. First of all, was using the yellow plate. That's
It's
you
not
should
the
use
move.
like a black plate or something. Obviously, that would stand out a little better.
I don't know, man. He's a professional. I mean, he got
203 minutes.
241 corn kernels in 3 minutes.
I would hate to be the person that has to just sit there and count. You know, the pressure you have to feel to not mess up that count.
Well, like my whole thing was, if you look in the video, he's just got like he's just got 1 can of corn out with him, right? I'm thinking, like, what happens if you run out? Like, it's 3 minutes. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm
I
like,
guess
all right, I got a whole can of corn in 3 minutes
put
or
more
2.5
on
minutes.
there than he needs. You'd hope.
You'd hope, but I mean, this dude
I would
was
say
going to town.
1 full can of corn is quite enough, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. How many kernels come in a can of
How many
sweet corn?
kernels come in a can of corn? Abby, you should look that up right now, please. Look up how many corn kernels are in 1 can of corn?
Our in-store producer,
Please.
in-house producer.
Abby Linger, our in-house producer, is going to look that up for us. We're going to...
As we get back to that, we'll come back to that. You
Okay.
got some interesting information.
Something I'm very personally excited for. Hugh Jackman announced on the Today Show that he was going on a musical world tour. So people thought he was coming back on. People were really excited about this interview. He announced he was going to, announce something on the Today Show. And everyone was like, people were thinking he was going to come out of his retirement for doing Wolverine, that he was going to do another movie with Marvel. Maybe he was doing a solo movie, taking another trying to direct something. People thought there was going to be something big. and it was not what people thought. However, though, he's announcing a world tour for music. Some of the stuff from around like Les Mis and The Greatest Showman, I assume, is what he's going to be performing there. But yeah, not a lot of people. If you guys have seen those movies, Les Miserables and The Greatest Showman, he's a very, very good actor, very good musical actor. He's actually classically trained theater actor too. So.
Yeah. He was surprisingly a better singer than I thought he would be.
I think he's better at doing those type of gigs than he was at Wolverine. Like, obviously, it's Hugh Jackman. He is, who Wolverine is, and people appreciate him for that. But I think he shows off his talents, in a much better way in the more musical things that he does.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's different. I would definitely give him that. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of coming from, like, comic book movies and watching those as a kid, and, like, that's who that is. And it's kind of weird to me seeing, like...
I didn't even know that he did this stuff until I was in at least 8th grade. I was pretty old by the time I didn't know that I thought he was just the Wolverine guy, but I found out, and then I got sucked into it. I love The Greatest Showman. I still listen to the music sometime.
I watched Les Miserables, and I watched that quite often, and so I was kind of taken aback the first time I saw it, and it was that's Wolverine going on in the French Revolution.
Yeah, it's like, where's the claws, man?
So I believe.
Abby, do you have our estimate?
Do we have information for the most corn kernels that come in a standard can? Do we have that information or not? Because this is something I am excited for. I see it. We have laptops in front of us. I believe we can just. We can. Yeah, I'll let you do that.
I'll do that.
I kind of have the answer.
Oh, we kind of have. We kind of have the answer. What's the answer?
Probably.
What's the answer, Abby?
So.
We're getting this.
I got it right here.
All right, we got it. Dan's got it.
All right, the broad average applied in original year estimated procedures was 90,000 kernels per bushel of corn. That's per bushel of corn. 15.5% moisture, or approximately 1,600 kernels per pound. So if you're getting a pound can of corn, you're getting about 1,600 kernels.
Wouldn't that be measured by ounce, not pound?
It might.
Probably.
I don't know how. This is the information that it gave me, and they're doing it in pounds.
Okay, so wait, hold on.
Kernels in a can of corn.
How many?
It's not. It doesn't want to give you a straight number. It's trying to give you to do math here.
What was it? 90,000 though was what we found
per bushel of corn.
All right. So on that note,
I guess that's about corn.
we got something coming up a little special. We're gonna talk about our music segment of the week right after this with our producer Abby Linger.
Thank you for tuning in. And we'll be back momentarily.
PocketMouse Podcast. All right, we're back at the PocketMouse Podcast. Me and Dan and I. Sorry, correct grammar.
We're trying to get on you about that.
Yeah, that doesn't
Zack's
happen.
notorious for making that simple mistake.
Sorry, man.
We're joined by our in-house producer, Abby Linger.
Probably should mention the most important guest that we have, our producer, Abby Linger. Abby, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
I'm all right.
I hear you have a song of the week for us.
Indeed, I do. So our song of the week is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Queen. Okay.
Mhm.
So why?
I chose it because I just saw the movie and I really enjoyed it.
See, I haven't gotten the chance to see the movie yet. I think I'm just gonna watch it on Netflix, when it comes
that
out.
Makes sense.
Everybody else.
It's kind of too late to try and go catch it in a movie theater, I think. I've heard people say it's good and bad, so definitely something I want to check out.
It's definitely still up.
They're still doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still in theaters.
All right. So what about it? What about it? You heard?
Well, the song was written and performed by Queen, the British rock band we all know and loved in 1975. Well, most of their songs were in the 70s to 80s, like We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, and, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody. There's so many more.
Everyone loves Queen. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is one of those essential road trip songs. If you're going on a road trip, you're going to listen to that at least once or twice.
I'd be inclined to agree, yeah.
A family tradition of mine. I love
just
the song.
Going down the road, the Dan family road trip.
Yeah, everyone's screaming every word to the song. Yeah, it's got some good memories behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I know I have all, well, not all, but I have a bunch of Queen songs on my phone. It's one of the essential, parents' era rock songs.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Abby.
Abby Linger, everybody, our producer. So,
Okay.
let's get back into this. We were kind of looking, and I got a sports story of the week.
Sports.
Yeah, that's something I want to get into. There was a lot to talk about over the weekend. Kareem Hunt, he got cut. There's a lot of fun stuff, but something I'm really interested in is something I think could be a big new sport league is the Alliance of American Football.
Okay.
It's the new competitor, I guess, to the NFL, the National Football League. There are 8 teams: Arizona, Atlanta, Birmingham, Memphis, Orlando, Salt Lake City, San Antonio, and San Diego. And they just had their quarterback draft. They all... I don't really fully understand how the draft works. It's something like if you played for this team in the pros, say you played for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yep.
you would be eligible to be drafted by the San Diego Fleet.
Okay.
It's like or wherever you last played football is where you are eligible to be drafted from. It's really odd scenario, but yeah, they had their quarterback draft last week. And that was exciting to watch. Some former NFL quarterbacks. Josh Johnson went. Zack Mettenberger, Scott Tolzien, a bunch of guys that just kind of been around the National Football League.
So how long has this league been around for?
Hasn't started
It
yet.
hasn't started, so it's
No.
completely brand new.
This is
slate.
brand
Okay.
spanking new, my guy.
Very cool.
Yeah. I believe it starts in the NFL offseason right after the Super Bowl, so continual football.
Okay, I get the idea behind that. Very cool.
Yeah, so we got some other stuff to talk about, right?
Some more football.
No, not more football. But
No, not more
like,
football, but we
kinda
get some more
sports.
football throughout the year.
Oh, well, yeah, we get more football. I was talking about, have you seen this about Michael B. Jordan?
I don't think I have.
Michael B. Jordan, actor of many, many films that I've liked. Black Panther, he was in.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good villain.
Really, really good villain.
He was
Better than I thought, actually.
Yeah, he was in Creed 1 and 2, and this is kind of what I want to talk about. Creed 2 is a movie that's coming out,
It is coming out.
and Michael B. Jordan, he was asked some question by, I don't know, some paparazzi, and he was like, what famous boxer? Because that's what Creed 2 is about. It's like a continuation of Rocky with Michael B. Jordan now. And it was like, what boxer do you think you could take?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. Well, the question was kind of setting him up for failure, but he was like, I'm trying to find the direct quote here. But,
when asked by TMZ who he's willing to step in the ring with, he responded, Roy Jones, bro, end quote. Quote,
Yeah.
Roy Jones, bro, quote.
end quote. He was like, I think when he was in his prime, he could take me, but I think now I could go in there and do my thing. Roy Jones is one of the best boxers of all time.
Yeah.
He's something.
Did he respond?
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He was like, let's set this up.
Oh, no.
Roy Jones is like, hey, let's fight, bro.
So is this him on the website here, the guy in the second
Yeah.
video? That's him now. Okay.
Yeah, he's got to be almost 50, something like that. 49? Yeah. He's fought in like 75 total fights. He's 66-9 career, which is a really good
So I gotta ask, how many rounds do you think Michael B. Jordan would make?
half a round.
Half of one round?
He'd get knocked out within half a round.
Oh, I don't know.
You're going against the professional
Yeah,
boxer.
but anyone can dance around in a ring for at least a minute.
I don't think so, man. I think that it's one thing to play a boxer on TV or in the movies.
Yeah.
It's a completely different thing.
Do you have anything about how Michael B. Jordan trained for the role in Creed 2? Does he actually box in his spare time? Or
It seems that he does know actually how to box a little bit.
Okay.
He definitely got trained with. He definitely got trained and learned how to box. Yeah. Oh, but man, Roy Jones Jr. They were talking about him as like back in his prime as like one of the best fighters of all time.
Yeah.
He would get messed up.
He would get messed up. He'd probably get hurt and, He would never be able to do that just because he's a movie star. You can't do that to
Imagine
yourself.
having to take a break from a movie. He's like,
Yeah.
I want to be in Black Panther 2, but I gotta like, I have the next like 10 weeks to train and prepare for boxing. Roy Jones.
Another slightly more uplifting story I got from entertainment was on SNL. Pete Davidson a few weeks ago made a joke in bad taste about Senator Dan Crenshaw. He's a senator, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna just die
Senator
there.
Dan
Yeah.
Crenshaw, who had lost his eye in military service. Very, very good guy. And Pete Davidson made a joke in bad taste. I'm not sure exactly what the joke was. But they actually got Dan Crenshaw to come on SNL, and he did a little bit of a joking on Pete Davidson, a little bit of a roast on him. It was funny, and then he goes on to have this really good message at the end, which I really liked. It was about people, two sides of the coin, both coming together in this moment to like joke with each other and kind of loosen up a little bit. And it was a really good moment, I think, for that. And then he also had a very, very nice message. About because Veterans Day was coming up the weekend after this aired, and he just reminded everyone to, take a step back and really, thank the veterans and think about what they've done for our country and things. So, if any reminder this week, I'd like to remind you guys to, if you come across a veteran or if you have one in your family, to just take a moment and tell them thank you for what they've done for us.
Yeah, I was fortunate to be able to see this, and I thought it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
He.
Dan, I don't know if Dan Crenshaw wrote the jokes that he performed, but they were good. They were really good.
What was your favorite part about it? Because I know mine.
My favorite part, there's a part in it where Dan Crenshaw's phone starts ringing.
Yep.
And it's an Ariana Grande song. And for those of you that are not, known to the situation, him and Ariana Grande were dating for a while. They just recently broke up. And his phone started ringing, and it was Ariana Grande song, and he just let it ring all the way through. And it was splitting.
I thought that was hysterical.
So that was my thing from entertainment for the week that I really liked. And I think we're going to close off with a little meme of the week here.
This is going to be hopefully a continuous segment. I feel like the most important cultural thing in society nowadays.
Happening
and that is
now.
Happening now.
Internet
and that is
meme culture.
memes.
We're going to, this week, we looked extensively through the camera rolls of our phones to find the best.
We've swiped through Instagram for countless hours.
And what we decided on was an inmate.
Charles Dion McDowell.
Charles Dion McDowell, the man with the massive neck. At least twice the size of his head. Oh my God, look at it.
I don't think. I mean, well, first off, we gotta get out of the way. We do not condone this man in any way
For what he's done.
He seems to be a pretty.
It is a mugshot after all.
Yeah.
But
seems to drug-related charges.
Yes, and he just has a billboard of a neck. He can put anything you want on that thing.
Looks like it. Oh my god.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate. Jeez. I was looking at him, and I was looking at different things. That's his first mugshot. He also recently got arrested again.
Did he?
Yeah. The different mugshot does not accentuate the neck quite as much, but we were looking at him, and he plans to fight MMA.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's such a big target right there, though.
I don't know,
You can't
man.
take too many punches to the neck like that.
You just gotta protect the neck.
I guess open your mouth, keep your jaw low. I don't know how else you protect that thing. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we were looking at, he was the best thing I think in all of this is that the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, they put out a Facebook post about him, and this was where the meme went viral. But it was the sheriff's office has a Facebook post that says, "Congratulations to Charles Dion McDowell. He was arrested for fleeing, eluding police." and it's like congratulations, you've been arrested.
And that's how it went viral. I did not know that.
Oh my gosh.
Our producer's giving us the wrap-up signal here.
Yes, sir. So how do you think it went? First episode of the podcast?
First episode, I had a lot of fun.
I liked it.
I liked it a lot. I hope you guys, enjoyed watching or listening, however you got this into your brain. I thank you, and
We love you all.
we love you all.
And that was
everyone.
a Pocket Mouse Podcast.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.